Do you need to spend $10,000 on a camera? Not necessarily an easy shot for a camera. Good morning, freediving family. Today we're going to do something very, very cool. We're going to take 4 different cameras into the water and we're going to do an underwater camera comparison. Do you need to spend $10,000 on a camera, or is like $100 good enough? All right, so these are the cameras that we're going to be taking in the water today.
This is a Sony A7 Mark S2.
A7S Mark II. That is not what you said. The Sony A7S Mark II is like a high range camera. This total setup, so the camera, the lens, the housing, is about $10,000.
Alright, so the camera in here is an Olympus EM5 Mark II.
Hey, you got that one right.
It's my camera.
Yeah, so the EM5 Mark II is a lower range camera. The Sony and the Olympus are both mirrorless cameras, so if you are into photography, you'll know what that means. So you'll be able to see the comparison between those two, the higher range and the lower range. Now this setup that we have here, the camera, the lens, and the housing, will set you back about $4,000.
And upstairs I have the GoPro Hero 8.
Oh yeah. So obviously the GoPro Hero 8 being like the upper range of your action cams. And the GoPro Hero 8, as we all know, is, depending on where you buy it, anything from like, I don't know, $400, $500, $600, $700 odd dollars, depending what currency you're in. Australian dollars, $800.
And here we have the Apeman, a knockoff camera.
It's your lower range of the action cams. It's about $80 odd, and it's kind of made to look like a GoPro, but I've never used it before. We're gonna see what it looks like.
It's very light.
Cool bananas, we are going to... Cool bananas is good.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool bananas, we're gonna go get in the water now. We're gonna go for a dive. Let's see how these cameras look.
Cool bananas.
This rocky, seaweedy kind of terrain is pretty classic for this part of Australia. And this visibility, about 10 or 15 meters of hazy viz, that's considered to be good visibility for this area too. I saw this nice little ledge and thought this would be the perfect place for our first camera comparison. Here's the 2 DSLR cameras, the Olympus and the Sony. You can see that the Sony is a lot sharper and it captures a lot more detail than the Olympus does. I didn't know this area at all, but Dan said there was a swim through, a big crevice and an area with lots of fish coming right up. So I followed him along the rocky wall. So here's the $10,000 Sony setup going against the $4,000 Olympus setup. Both of the cameras are balancing the light really well. I mean, there's a lot of details, a lot of moving fish, there's no underexposing, no overexposing. Very impressed. Wow, look at that GoPro shot. That's a GoPro right there. The GoPro does its own automatic white balance. So it's color grading the footage underwater, whereas the Sony and the Olympus are not really doing that, although you can color grade them afterwards in post-production. And this is the Apeman, and I mean the shot is really clear, but the lens is obviously not as wide on the Apeman as the other ones, and so it's not really capturing that big wide landscape underwater like the other cameras are. to do one final shot where we can see how these cameras handle moving between different levels of light, because that's something that you encounter a lot underwater. You're often going from areas where there's a lot of light to areas where there's no light or little light, and or the opposite, you're going from areas where there's little to no light to areas where there's a huge amount of light, so it's really important. While me and Dan were playing out there, one of Dan's friends just randomly came across us in the water and said, "Oh, have you guys gone through the big cave?" And we were like, yeah, we went through the cave, we went through the swim through for sure. And then it turned out that there was a much more incredible swim through coming right up. He told us that there are often grey nurse sharks hiding out in this little cave, but we didn't see any today. Alright, so we're back home now. When we were out there, we took the same photo with each of the 4 cameras. So you've seen how the film, how the video looks with all the cameras. So now let's see how each of these cameras takes a photo. So the first photo we have here is from the Apeman. Now I didn't realize there'd be this date on the photo, so that's a bit of a shame, but that's okay. I'm not expecting too much here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with a white balance. So let's see what happens when we do a white balance on this photo. So we get more of a color, or more of the colors that we want. Let's adjust this. So we're going to bring over here. We're going to bring the temperature down, so we get a bit more blue. So let's bring it just up slightly. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see. I'm going to put a little bit of extra color in to see like what range of colors we have in there. Not a whole lot. Let's maybe try to clear it up a little bit because the photo does look very, very hazy. I'm going to put the clarity up. Probably should have started with dehaze. Yeah, dehaze first and then clarity. So okay, this is what we're looking with here. So I'm not going to edit these photos totally. I'm just going to show you an idea of like how much we can do to these photos in post-production. So this is the Apeman. You know, this is about like what I can get it to within the scope of what, 10-15 seconds. So now let's move on to the next photo. So here's the GoPro. Now just so you know, the shot that we decided to go for, like, you know, shooting down this crevice here, is not necessarily an easy shot for a camera, because there's not a lot of light, and there'll be a high contrast between all the light that's up the top here and then all the darkness down at the bottom. But you know, I suppose that in perfect conditions with perfect water, any camera can do an incredible photo, but it's only when things are not perfect that you tend to need something a bit more heavy duty. So let's see what we can do here with the GoPro. So once again, we'll start with a white balance. Bang, bang, bang. That looks good. Too purpley. Bring these purples down, make it a little cooler. Let's pull the blacks down to try to find something. Well, just want to another photo. Might dehaze it. It's a very hazy day out there with quite like hazy viz. A bit of colour into it. Okay, let's take these aquas out. Why not? Oh no, we need to leave those aquas in. The greens out. No, need to leave the greens in. Anyway, so there you go. That's where we get that photo to by just, you know, moving a few sliders, or that's where we get it to within the space of 10 or 15 seconds. GoPro, I find GoPro has incredible video, but not great images. Doesn't take a great photo. So yeah, okay, well let's move on to the Olympus. So the Olympus is a proper interchangeable lens camera. So we will have a look at how it fared. Alright, so here we have the Olympus. So once again, quick little white balance, and bang! You can already see with that white balance, the colors look a little bit more natural. So just cool it down a little bit. Let's pull the blacks down to make that a bit more realistic. Let's dehaze it a little bit because it's hazy in there. Make it more, bit of clarity, bit of color. Let's see what happens if we try to take some of this aqua out. So I don't like it. All this aqua, there we go, that responds. Put a bit more blue in, so the top is a bit more blue. Alright, there we go. In 15 seconds, this is what we got it to, which is pretty good, I think, yeah? It's not bad at all. Alright, so let's move over to the Sony. So the last one, so the Sony being the more expensive, or mirrorless camera, or the more expensive interchangeable lens camera. Alright, so once again, start with a white balance. Do that one right there. Bang. Quite natural colours. Let's cool it down just a slight bit. Put the blacks down a little bit. Ooh, let's dehaze it, take some of the haze out. Increase the clarity a little bit. I want to make it a little bit sharper. Put a bit of colour in. And then once again, we'll just bring out those Aquas, which I don't like. That's Ellie. Ellie literally sitting out the front crying. I don't know what she wants. And maybe take the green out and bang. So I suppose there was not a crazy amount of difference between the footage. Mind you, we are still yet to color grade some of that Sony footage because I want to compare it against the GoPro because the GoPro looks so good. But there is a huge difference between the image that these cameras can take. The Sony and the Olympus were really a huge leap ahead from the action cams. But it all depends on what you want. If you want to go out there, have a good time, and film yourself having a good time and film the stuff that you see, $100 for a camera is enough. If you want that footage to look a little bit better, you spend the extra few $100s and get a GoPro. If you want the ability to also take incredible photos, you spend a few $1,000 extra and you get a lower level interchangeable lens camera like an Olympus. And if you want to take great photos, you spend the extra 10 grand and you get something fancy. But in saying that, you can still get a great photo with an action cam. Like I said before, I find that the difference is that these cameras can take a great shot in bad or moderate conditions, whereas you need to have incredible conditions, clear water, amazing viz to get that winning shot with an action cam. Alright, now lucky last, let's just see if we can do some color grading here with the GoPro footage and the Sony footage. So this is the GoPro footage, just standard, straight out of the camera. Let's try to put a little bit more red in here to make feel, oh look at that, we can see some nice reds going in here in the background, and we'll probably increase I find putting a bit of purple in the highlights gives the water like that kind of like, oh, all of a sudden it was a really blue clear day. I'm going to bring down the mid-tones to make it a little bit darker, just in some of the shadows here, to make the diver in the wetsuit pop. And so that looks great, like that's great footage. Look at the diver stands out really well, everything's sharp and clear. It's poppy, it's fantastic. Now here is the Sony, this is unedited. Let's do the same thing, we're going to put in some reds. Oh yeah, that responds very well, lots of reds in there now. Let's pretend like it wasn't green water out there, that it was blue water out there. Woo! Maybe take some reds out actually. And we'll bring down those midtones, make it more shadowy, make it more poppy. And now let's see what it looks like as the diver swims past. Yeah, that's really nice. You know what I mean? Like that's, it's really clear, really crisp, really beautiful. But to be honest with you, like, you know, the GoPro stands up really well as well. So, you know, I suppose, you know, when it really comes down to it, I don't find there's an immense amount of difference between a $10,000 camera when it comes to footage or filming and a GoPro. A huge difference between the $100 camera, but still, if you want to go have fun with the $100 camera, you can still do that. So yeah, that's where we stand. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe by pressing this little circular thing down here.
Also, check out this video.
Or you might want to check out this video because you might like it too.